Hi friends, may peace, blessings and mercy of Almighty God be on all of you. The issue of triple talaq is a hot topic today. As a student of the Quran for the last 17 years and a compiler of the word for word English translation of the Quran, I felt it was my duty to clarify this topic. Divorce initiated by a man is called Talaaq, and divorce initiated by the woman is called Khula. Marriage is one of the important institutions of society and is viewed differently in different religions. Same applies to dissolution of marriage or divorce. Divorce according to the Bible. Bible teaches that marriage is for life. In Mark chapter number 10, verse number 9, it says, "What God has joined together, let not man separate." Continues in verse 11 and 12, "Whoever divorces his wife and marries someone else commits adultery against her. And if a woman divorces her husband and remarries, she commits adultery." Divorce according to Hinduism. Hindu marriage is performed under Sastric ceremonies and rites as laid down by Sastric Hindu law. Separation and divorce does not exist in the Sastric Hindu law. In Hinduism, marriage is both a sacrament and a dharma. It means that marriage is permanent, eternal, and holy. Hindus believe that marriage relationship extends beyond this life into the next life and the next and the next and so on. Even though Islam considers marriage as a sacrosanct relationship between a man and a woman, Quran makes divorce permissible. It considers divorce so important that out of the 114 chapters in the Quran, one is named Surah Talaaq. Detailed instructions are not given in the Quran about how to pray, but detailed instructions are given about the procedure of talaq in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verses 226 to 232, 236 and 237 and 241. Surah Talaaq chapter number 65 verses 1 to 4, 6 and 7. Surah Nisa chapter number 4 verses 34 and 35. Circumstances of divorce. If a man is very unhappy in his marriage for any reason due to which he has no physical relations with his wife, he has to decide within 4 months about the continuation of the marriage. It is not permissible for him to make the wife live in such a relationship where she is deprived of physical intimacy for more than 4 months. He has to initiate divorce proceedings. If a man fears disloyalty and ill conduct from his wife, he can initiate the steps for divorce. Let us see the step-by-step Quranic procedure of divorce initiated by the male, that is talaq. The first thing is he should advise his wife. Second, physical separation. Third, he has to make it very clear to his wife that if things don't change, then the separation will happen. Fourth step is arbitration. Steps number 1, 2 and 3 only involve the couple, the husband and the wife. Now, if reconciliation is not happening with these 3 steps, we need to involve arbitrators. So one arbitrator from his side and one arbitrator from her side. who will try to cause reconciliation and remove the misunderstandings, if any. If the above 1 to 4 steps fail, then in the presence of 2 witnesses, when the wife is in the phase of the menstrual cycle where she has finished menstruation and there has been no intimacy thereafter, the man can pronounce talaq. Then, for 3 menstrual periods, she continues to live in the same house with him. This is called the iddah, or the waiting period. It can also be considered as the cooling period. This period is also because if the woman is pregnant, then it would be known that she is carrying the child, the baby of this man. During this 3-month period, both of them will be able to understand the implications of the divorce, especially if they have children. It should be made absolutely clear that he cannot ask her to leave the house during these 3 months in normal circumstances. The only abnormal circumstance in which he can ask her to leave is when he sees her in bed in his house with somebody else. Otherwise, in no other circumstances can he ask her to leave the house for these 3 months. And the woman also should not leave the house of her own accord. And during these 3 months, it is obligatory for the man to look after all her needs of food and clothing. Suppose both of them realize that the separation would not be good for them or their children, then within the 3-month period, after taking witnesses, they can continue their marital relationship. However, if there is no reconciliation during this 3-month waiting period, then after the 3-month waiting period is over, they are no longer husband and wife and are considered divorced. Both are free to remarry whoever they want. So, with just one pronouncement of talaq, they no more remain husband and wife after the 3-month waiting period is over. So what is this triple talaq? Triple talaq is a very big misunderstanding. After the procedural steps taken for divorce and the completion of the 3-month waiting period, the husband and wife are divorced, as I already explained earlier. This is called a revocable talaq. Suppose after a few months, 2 years, to even decades, the couple who was divorced decides to remarry. In that case, they can have a fresh nikah with the new dawah money, that is meher, to be given by the husband to the wife, and new terms and conditions of the nikah contract. As the divorce has been revoked by the remarriage, it is called a revocable divorce. But how many times can the divorce be revoked? Divorce can be revoked only twice. If after reconciliation within the 3 months waiting period, or after remarrying, once the 3-month waiting period has expired, there is again incompatibility between the husband and wife. The same steps for divorce as were enumerated earlier will be taken. This is counted as a second talaq. If after the second talaq there is reconciliation within the 3-month waiting period, they become husband and wife again. But the divorce is counted to have occurred twice. Or if remarriage occurs after the completion of the 3-month waiting period, the divorce is counted to have occurred twice. If after having undergone the process of divorce twice, it happens again, the third time, then the third divorce is considered as an irrevocable divorce, meaning there will be no reconciliation during and after the 3-month waiting period. And the man and the woman can never remarry under normal circumstances. Condition for remarriage after an irrevocable divorce. The divorced man and women are free to marry whoever they want. If it so happens that the woman marries someone under normal circumstances and that husband dies or she is divorced from him, then she and the previous husband can remarry with a new dower money and a new nikah contract. So what about the triple talaq that makes it aberrant? It is the ignorance about the Quranic procedure of divorce. So who should be blamed? The Quran or those Muslims who are ignorant of the procedure of talaq described in the Quran. If you have any questions, please email me at dr.shehnaz@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Please share.